So this is another Danny Hawley story. So we were on the bus one time, and I believe we were 14 at the time. I want to say we were 14, so like 100 years ago. And so we were on the bus, and Andrew Dice Clay was a big deal at this time. And I loved Andrew Dice Clay. I think Andrew was probably one of the first comedians I admired, and not to take nothing from Robin Williams or Richard Pryor because or Eddie Murphy, um, but Andrew Dice Clay was like if I was to say I could relate to anybody, it was more like Andrew Dice Clay, or at least the persona that he pretended to be. Um, but that was more like a real life me. I really Danny had given me the ability to really not give a fuck what people thought of me, and it really gave me the confidence that I needed. I was talking to uh, one of my kids today, Judah, and we talked for like 2.5 hours. It was a little bit longer, and that's not even including the voice notes that we gave each other before the actual call. Um, And I love that kid so much, so much, so much gratitude for him. He's so much smarter than he gives himself credit for. Anyways, um, so me and Danny Hawley were on the bus, and keeping in mind that I'm a big Andrew Dice Clay fan, and there's this beautiful young girl around our age, and she was absolutely breathtaking. Vanessa was her name, and I never remember names, and I remember her name, and I'll get to why. Um, but she was sitting across the bus from us, and she looked at me and she gave me, that smirk where you know that I could have you if I wanted to, and so was very very confident at the time. Um, Still am. I'm even looking like Doug Gilmore. I'm a beautiful fucking human being, and we won't need to talk about any of my superpowers. Anyways, so um um we're sitting across the bus from her, and she had these big, beautiful brown eyes, and um, a light brunette, uh, like just beautiful brown hair, um, just like chiseled perfectly to her face. And I wasn't one for short haired women, but my God, she was incredible. And so Danny caught on really quick, and he's like, "I bet you can't pick her up." I was like, "Bet." Well, I didn't say bet at the time. I was like, "Oh, whatever, bro. Like, I can have any." And we like anybody that knows me um, knows that I'm not really quiet. At least not. And like, imagine me shy. I didn't talk till I was 3 years old. This is why. Um, so long story short, we yeah, because that's what I do. I make short stories. Um, we're on the bus, and we bet a two for, and at the time we could drink a two. Like Danny, unfortunately, grew into an alcoholic and would drink me under the table any day of the week for such a short dude. Like that guy was like Danny Holly was like 4 foot nothing. Um, like such a beautiful human being, but he was so small. He was like, and had this innocent face. Fucking hated. He had this charm about him. Anyways, enough about Fabio over there. Um, I miss him so much. So we bet a 2-4. It's like, fuck yeah, okay. Um, but he goes, "Well, here's the catch. You can't pick her up like with fucking like he knew I had no game. When it came up to pickup lines, I had zero game. Zero game. I've never been a guy that like I'm not a liar. Um, I'm unfortunately brutally honest. I've learned to be honest enough not to hurt people's feelings, at least not intentionally now. Um, but at the time, I was just brutally honest. So, and I'm not one to think before I speak. Like, I'm sure God fucking hates wondering what's gonna, like, God is biting his nails, like, wondering what's gonna come out of my mouth. Like, he's like, so he goes, you can't use anything good. I was like, what? He goes, no, run out. You got to think of it like, just go, run out. And so I turned around and I gave her a Andrew Dice Clay line. And the line I chose to go with was, your eyes sparkle like the Nile. You want to fuck, baby? And she smiled and she gave me the stupidest, most enticing smirk that made me instantly hard. Told me to come over to give her, like, this is back in my day. We didn't have cell phones. We had to memorize numbers or walk around with a pen and a piece of paper. This is before pagers. And fuck you to all the millennials. Or what's a pager? What's a pager? Pager. Shut the fuck up, you bitches. It's a pager. Look it up. Google up on your smartphone, you fucking idiot. Um, so we're she gives me her number and I was just like, take that, motherfucker. And I never told him. I never told him. But and don't get it twisted. I didn't think it was gonna work at all. Like I figured she would just like, but since she had given me that smirk, I knew that she knew who I was. Cause here's what Danny didn't know. What Danny didn't know is her name was Vanessa, and I knew I remembered her right off the bat. I'm terrible with names, but I got a uh, photogenic memory. I'll never forget a face. If I've met you once, like I will remember you um, instantly. It's just I don't know why. This is one of my super talents. And I my old best friend was Aoz, but and he loved Vanessa. He absolutely adored Vanessa. So me being his best friend, I knew, and it was grade school that we went to, and I'm in junior high right now, or no, I'm in high school now. So I mean, like, I know when you're that age, it's like, oh my god, that was so long ago. No, idiots, it's like 2 or 3 years. It's not a big deal. Um, at that time, it may have been like 4 or 5. Like, if you can't remember shit at that age, 4 or 5 years, like, you should be wearing a helmet, you know? So it's like, I knew that she knew who I was. So, I mean, how can you forget me? Look at this face. Perfect ass. Like, so hard. Um, but yeah, I got a 2-4 out of it. So it was nice. And he never knew that I kind of sort of had an in without him knowing, which was nice. I miss him so much.